Aloha, guys. Welcome to everyone. We have a special guest featured today. I'm with Nastaran, who has been helped by Michael, my referral partner on the east side of Hawaii. Welcome, Nastaran, to our program that we do every Thursday. Well, now Friday. We moved it to Friday, but we're so happy that you're here. You guys, we're going to be talking about how Nastaran was able to move to the Big Island successfully with the help of our friend Michael here that helped her move to Hawaiian Shores Recreational Estates. We're going to be talking about her move. We're going to be talking about super exciting things. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the comments below. We have here, it says, I'm jumping now. There's a user here saying, absolutely beautiful. And they're saying aloha to you all. So thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. We very much appreciate you. So Nastaran, we're going to be diving deep into the questions. Why did you guys decided to move to the Big Island of Hawaii?
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. I've watched your videos with Michael all the time. And so just to give you a little background, we lived on Oahu between 2014 and 2017. My husband retired from Hawaiian Airlines, and when we moved back to San Diego, it truly was like a chunk of my heart was missing. It wasn't because I missed Hawaii. I did, but that's not what it was. I just wanted to find a way to get back. You can get a girl out of Hawaii, but you can't get Hawaii out of the girl,
Right.
But it started as a fan. Okay, we've already moved back. How am I going to move to Hawaii again? How is that ever going to be possible? You can't do that. But so anyway, my fantasy started. I kept telling my husband, wouldn't it be nice if we could go there half the time and be here half the time? And he was like, yeah, maybe, who knows? So it took about a few other years until we decided, hey, let's look and see, if we can have that fantasy come true. Oahu was too expensive, unfortunately, by that time. And we were thinking about the Big Island, but I've never been there. I don't know really much about the Big Island. So I started researching online, and that's how I came to, your programs. And we started from there. I watched a whole bunch of other videos, but I don't think you truly get the concept of what Big Island is like. So having been blessed with the idea, with the possibility and resources that my husband retiring from Hawaiian Airlines provided, we get free flights. So with that came this journey. I started, coming over and staying in many different areas. I started with Kona. Absolutely loved it. There was nothing that you don't like about this place. Then I decided little by little to go and look at the other places as well, meaning on the east side. So I stayed in HPP a few times, in an Airbnb. I stayed in Hawaiian beaches. I stayed in Leilani Estates. I stayed in Kalapana. I just was all over the place. I was having my fun, and then, getting to know what these neighborhoods are like, because unless you see it, it just doesn't compare. You see a house for sale and either looks too good and it's really not, or it's not as good. Like this area that we live here, there was no way to imagine it unless you're here. So I was open to a variety of different parts of the east side, but this subdivision really is the one that talked to me the most. So that's how I started, my journey of picking where. where exactly? Because Big Island is a huge place. I never stayed um, in Volcano though, and I'm okay with that because I heard it gets cold and I like it warm.
It really sounds, Nastaran, as you had an idea of Hawaii, but you were also being tasked with understanding the weathers, understanding the location, because as you very well
Yeah,
put it, you can do all of your research online, but it is not until you come here, and this is what we advise all of our buyers, to come here, stay here, get familiar with the locations, and then fully pinpoint on where you want to live long term.
exactly, exactly. I am so glad I did that because I mean, I'm sure it works for some people to buy sight unseen. I just couldn't do it. I really had to come see it for myself.
Right. We have a comment here from the audience. It says, I'm going to put it here on the live stream. It says, Big Island is our favorite. We love Waikoloa Village. Waikoloa
Oh,
Village, Nastaran, is so, so beautiful if you haven't explored it. But
I
no, but
have.
I thank you so, so much for sharing that. Nastaran, so talk to us about the process of moving. There's many moving parts, as you probably spoke with Michael about. Talk to us about the process of how was it working with Michael, and then the process of moving. It's a two-part question.
Correct. Yes. Well, we haven't actually moved. We decided that we were gonna keep the house in San Diego because my husband is just such an avid golfer, and he loves his little golf community, golf buddies. You know, life is really perfect for him. It
Right,
was me who had the calling and just couldn't do without.
right,
So we are kind of starting a household here from scratch. We don't have anything. I mean, I'm truly just waiting for deliveries to come. So that's as far as the moving part is concerned. As far as working with Michael, oh my God, he's been an angel. Michael, I have to say I am sorry for what I put you through. I feel like, with the house we finally purchased, I, I did a switcheroo. I saw it. I knew it was a fixer upper, and we are not new to fixer uppers. We've purchased a lot of homes, but something about it just freaked me out. When I left after being shown the house, I just had the most panicky moment, and I called it off. I said, "No, that's not it. I don't want it. No, 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 no." After all he has gone through, so he has the patience of an angel. Thank you so much for being there. Then, of course, my husband, talked to me and he said, "Go, just go look at it one more time."
right.
And Michael was supposed to show me the house, but I didn't. I didn't want to have to say, "No, I don't want it. No, no, no." So I decided to drive by it and see it in daylight because by the time I got there, it was nighttime. And it was like, "Oh," the angels were singing.
I
So
love
it was,
that.
oh my God. So I decided to kind of just sit in front of the house and stare at it for a while. And I decided to just go around and see the neighborhood a little bit more. That's when I came across I think it's called the Government Beach Road. Whoa, holy moly. I fell in love with it because I'm a big gardener and I'm a crazy plant lady and I love anything and everything nature. I was just speechless. I stopped somewhere and I went out and got bitten by 500 mosquitoes. But that was fine. I didn't mind it at all. I was just looking at the nature and thinking the proximity of the house to the beach and to this place is very small. And I just something clicked and we said yes, please let's go ahead with this. I'm sorry.
Nastaran, don't you agree that there's so many emotions, right, that a buyer goes through? Um, it's like you
I don't
have
know if
these
it was
moments
just me.
of am I really making the right decision? And for some people think that I mean, this is so normal. It is so normal to experience those feelings, but I'm so glad that you had a strong partner on the other side that was holding your hand and providing you with with peace, right?
Yeah, like he said, he was walking me down from the ledge,
Right.
No jumping just yet. No, 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 no.
Right.
So
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 Nastaran,
good.
so if I hear you correctly, the things that made you fall in love with the property was that it was near a place where you kind of envisioned yourself gardening, and then also was close enough to the beach, and you kind of saw yourself being there and enjoying the area.
Yeah, absolutely. The nature had. I mean, of course, it's lush on the east side, no matter where you go. But
That's
there is
true.
a vibe from the neighborhood that I got that I only got from Leilani Estates because I really like that area too.
Mm.
When we entered that place, the my entire body hair was standing up, and I don't know what I was feeling. But a couple of locals who talked to us, they said, "Oh." When I explained to them, I had my goosebumps everywhere. They said, "You feel the magic, don't you?" I said, "Maybe that's what it is. Yes, the magic." And then when I came here in this area, I felt it the same way. Not as much as Leilani Estate, but in this
Wow.
area, my hair was standing up. So my brain, my body, my soul was saying, "Yes, go for it. Yes, yes, yes." And I'm so glad I came back the next day because if I had only judged the place by looking at it, when it was dark, I don't know how successful it would have been. I wouldn't have been able to see the whole neighborhood where the house was exactly situated. So I really recommend if anybody uh, looks at a property, look at it in daylight. It's important. It
That is so
tells you
so
some
true.
things you don't see at night.
Right. And
And so
Michael,
far,
oh,
I just wanted to say, so far the nature has been the best. We had 3 pigs in our yard, which most people probably get scared, but I love it. I love it. The chickens, the pigs, the coqui frogs. Oh, it's just wonderful.
it sounds like you're in paradise.
Yeah,
um,
I'm really loving it.
right. So, Michael, how was it this journey of getting Nastaran to the finish line
Be
from
nice.
your perspective? No, no.
Well, it couldn't have gone better, to be honest with you. And, in Nastaran, we had like first communication, right, as we typically do with Maly, and she sends you my way. And I know you were here early on and you wanted to see some properties, and we couldn't get in to see them fast enough. But you're like, I'm going to come back, Michael. I'm coming back. And I said, great, come back. And you did, and you're with your husband, and we went to go look at a house. And as I've said before, you did everything right. You stayed in the neighborhood.
Hmm.
And after that first interaction, you guys said, you know what? We're fine with not looking at anything else right now. We're going to go spend the next few days just driving around the entire neighborhood, which that's how I bought my house. I explored, and when the right house did come along, then I knew
You're
because I had the
ready.
confidence having been there to see it. So I think that was, to me, is what everybody should do, because it's not as easy as one might think that it is. It's completely different here. So that that spoke volumes, and it spoke volumes of them on their commitment and how they would make this work. And when we did find the right house, we went and looked at it, took pictures, sent those to you, did the videos, had the conversation, did the drive down the street just so that you refreshed your memory with all of that. It was perfect, and I get it, the hesitation, because unfortunately, when you got here, you did get here. Your flight was delayed, and so we had that little hiccup that we had to work through. But you spent the time in the house, and you said, "If you don't mind, Michael, may I have just a few minutes to myself in the house?" And I said, "That's fine." I stepped outside, and she came back and like, "Yes." this this is good. So it worked out. It I think ultimately the house. Every time I went back to the house, I was like, this really is a good house. Yeah, it needs a little bit of work, but this is a really good
It has
house. And
good bones. Yes, it does
yes,
have good.
That is
And
so so beautiful, you guys. I'm so glad that I think it's a matter of like having a strong partner on the other side, right? But also connecting with the client, right? I mean, if I mean, and you guys kind of melted in that process to where you guys were in tune with the search. But also a very key factor here was that the neighborhood was pinpointed, right? To where you guys explored. And then once the neighborhood was identified, then you guys went all in.
hmm
correct. I've been looking at the the map of all the available properties in this first 6 or 7 streets that gave me that good vibe, and I thought, I don't know if a house will ever show up in our price range. But it did. But I did. I thought, no, this is too good to be true. And yes, it's a fixer-upper. It needs some work, but it's not fundamental. It's not like the ceiling is caving in. And it's nothing like that. It's all cosmetic. And my husband and I are, well, more him, not me. I'm willing to learn, and we are trying to fix it up. It takes
Right.
time, but that's
We are so so happy that you were able to find the property of your dreams and that you have now accomplished that big dream that you had in your heart of like owning property and having a place to call home on the islands. Do you have any tips? Any tips for anybody watching? Um, I mean, you have provided so much, but any tips that come to mind as to what to advise somebody that is looking from far away, they're looking at Hawaii, they're looking at the map, and they have the same dream that you had.
um, just patience. I think patience is so important. Hawaii runs on Hawaii time, not mainland time. That's for sure. And also physically being here and seeing the places for yourself.
Right.
I think will that way you know where your house is and if you like it or not. There, like there was one house that Mike showed us. In the pictures, it looked good, um, but when we got there, like in front of the house, there was a yard with 9 pit bulls, all hostile looking, and I would have never known if I never looked at it. And to me, that was like, no, that's vision. Lots of barking and
Right.
hostile looking dogs, and so it's so important to look at your street, at your neighborhood, and get a feeling for yourself. Sight unseen is a little risky to me,
That is so so true.
And
That's great sound advice, Nastaran.
yeah, and the patience is just so so important. We have ordered stuff, and then mainland mentality. Oh, they should have been here by now, but no, it needs a lot of you know from one hand to another, all the way. It's got to come to the island to be available, and then somebody's got to bring it. So yeah, be patient, calm yourself, slow down.
Slow down.
It will eventually
uh,
happen.
that is so so beautiful. Which one is your favorite spot where you bought? Which one is your favorite spot that you're
Uh,
like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait, huh?
the spot meaning like
Your place could be a beach, could be a store, could be a restaurant.
right now it's the beach and the government beach road.
Oh,
Those two.
those
Oh,
are your top.
yes, I cannot get enough. When you go to the end of this subdivision, um, there is a cliffs where the waves crash. Oh my God, I just can't get enough of this place. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Oh
So
my.
my favorite place is definitely that.
Uh, Ay, Nastaran. Well, I wanted to thank you so, so much for sharing so much information to people. We have a lot of people that are considering moving, that are watching, that are, in that same space of really wanting to explore. And your words help these folks a lot.
I am so glad I could contribute.
Nastran, we're so blessed to have you. We're so grateful that you have become available for this interview. Do you guys have anything else to share? Michael, do you have any words of wisdom for the audience that is watching?
Yeah, no, I mean, Nastaran is an A student in all of this, and I think it'll be very helpful for folks, because a lot of times what I see, people get sold on that first property that they see, and as Nastaran pointed
Yes.
out, the photos, they look really good, and oh my gosh, we can make this move, and
That is so
it's
true.
affordable, I can do it, without taking into consideration all of these other factors. And so, I always want to say, just okay, take one step back, and
Yes.
let's look at the whole picture. And if you have to spend $1,000 to come out here and do some more driving around through neighborhoods, it'll be the best $1,000 you spend for yourself.
Absolutely.
That is so, so true. So, so true. I hope that you guys make a connection with us. And Nastaran, I thank you so, so much for being here. Michael, great advice. And now we say aloha. Thank you so
Aloha.
much for watching, you guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, Nas.